Hey, thanks for joining me. Hope you're doing well. In Japanese Buddhist cosmology, a giant mountain called Mount Sumeru, or Shumasen, was believed to stand at the center of the world. In popular Indian cosmology, Mount Sumeru was a magnificent mountain of gold and gems shaped like a grail cup. It was believed to be at the center of the world, with all energies revolving around it. In Zoroastrian belief, the Mount Hera stood at the center of the earth, complete with an ice wall surrounding, an obvious clear depiction of our flat earth. There are many other cosmologies with central pillars, and this is no coincidence. Mount Sumeru, or Meru, exists and is now found beyond what we know as the Arctic Circle, in the paradise land known as Eden, Agartha, Avalon, and Shambhala. According to René Guénon, Mount Meru, or the world axis, lies in the inner light body, or Vajra body, of Earth, said to be the regulator of all energies in this realm. Mount Meru extends and traverses all of Earth's higher and lower realms. We can see it as Mother Earth's higher governing center, where she organizes and bridges all matter and dimensions into one centralized axis. Shambhala, our sacred homeland, has been known as the White Island, with Mount Meru as the magnificent shining mountain in the middle of it, with Brahma's golden city at the peak. According to the Mahabharata, on the north side, shining, there is mighty Meru, great Meru, the chaste, the good abode. Here set and again over the Meru rise 7 divine rishis, led by Vashista. On the north side, shining, stands mighty Meru. From these mounts the great rivers fall. At the bottom of Meru, abode of gods, milk ocean is, and before the great mounts Meru, sandy sea is stretched out. Mount Hara is described in the Zoroastrian Avesta as much convoluted, shining, where there is no night or darkness, no wind cold or hot, no deadly illness, no defilement. And just like Brahma is situated on the summit of Meru, on Mount Hara lives Mithra, the all-seeing protector of truth. This sacred mountain is not on the part of Earth as we know it. It is beyond the poles, like Guénon said, in the light body of Earth. So although it extends high into upper realms, it cannot be seen unless one takes the plunge into the center. In Hinduism, Svarga is the set of heavenly worlds located on and above Mount Meru. It's a heaven where the righteous live in paradise before their next incarnation. This is akin to the Buddhist Devaloka, a plane of blissful existence that can be reached as soon as one is sufficiently attuned to light and good, and it's pinned to be situated near or above Mount Meru. Let's paint the full picture. At the center of our flat plane, where all compasses point to, directly under the North Star Polaris, exists an imperishable sacred land. To get there, go into the depression leading into the Arctic paradise of Eden, Agartha, Shambhala. The aurora borealis emanating from the black sun covers this land in a spiritual dew, an etheric mist that separates our physical world from this land. After entering this holy hole, we will eventually see the black sun above our heads and Mount Meru glowing at the center. Magnetic Mount Meru, the mountain which is responsible for our compasses effortlessly pointing north, extends into the heavens, although to experience it, one must have entered the Garden of Eden and have made that light-body transition. In The Smoky God, a true account of Norwegian sailors who entered this paradise, Olaf Jansen describes accidentally sailing into this opening. Of the land beyond, he claimed, the people are exceedingly musical and learn to a remarkable degree in their arts and sciences. Their cities are equipped with vast palaces of music, where not infrequently as many as 25,000 lusty voices of this giant race swell forth in mighty choruses of the most sublime symphonies. The strange conditions within are favorable not only for vast meadows of luxuriant grasses, forests of giant trees, and all manner of vegetable life, but wonderful animal life as well. Our earthly system is a macrocosmic reflection of us, and we are microcosmic expressions of it. So, like a human being has chakras, the earth contains its own chakras as well. Mount Meru being the 7th chakra, its equivalent being our 7th or crown chakra. Funny enough, in Sanskrit, the spine is called Merudanda, and the chakras inhabit specific points on and upheld by the human spine. Like our crown chakra is where all the other chakras align in perfect harmony, the same goes for Mount Meru. This ascension of spiritual principles, going from directing energy from the material to the spiritual, is reflected where one is being guided towards. This spiraling and transference of energy from the heart to crown allows one to come into contact with the glowing rays of Mount Meru. What's required to enter Eden is an activation of the green ray of one's heart. Once in Eden, it's possible that we can stay in this heart-centered paradise full of lush vegetation and widespread harmony, or ascend even further, traveling up and up Mount Meru, entering dimensions that correspond with the higher chakras, and then ultimately being able to merge fully into the 8th chakra. And I quote, "The 8th chakra is a sublime place, relatively high above in the north. Here we may meet, if we wish, our higher selves or soul." Essentially, meeting your better half in a dedicated higher dimensional sanctuary. This is perhaps the ultimate solution that Miguel Serrano is talking about in Na's Book of the Resurrection, when he writes, "I imagine that the ultimate solution is a leap into the void over the Sahasrara chakra from the peak of Mount Meru." The mysteries of Eleusis were ancient Greek initiations that were performed in the secret groups that specifically worshipped the goddess Demeter and Persephone. It's said that, through a special initiation, one had the opportunity of returning to his spiritual birthplace at the center of the world, there to receive transforming grace. In the essay On the Soul, Plutarch said in a passage of this initiation, "At first there are wanderings and toilsome running about in circles, and journeys through the dark over uncertain roads and dead ends. Then, just before the end, there are all kinds of terrors, with shivering, trembling, sweating, and utter amazement. After this, a strange and wonderful light meets the wanderer. He is admitted into pure and verdant pastures, where he discerns gentle voices, solemn dances, and the majesty of blessed spirits and sacred visions. Here he is, being now fully initiated, and walks at liberty, joining in the revelry." Once in this sacred land, it's said that the Greek initiate could potentially meet his spiritual master, who would act as a guide, a guardian, and there, in the company of the already perfected, he would be further purified and prepared for higher initiations. All of this tells us the road to Shambhala is a tough one, full of spiritual and physical obstacles. However, like the stories of the Holy Grail, one who seeks the Grail, or Shambhala, with his full heart will find it. Once we're in this imperishable land, it will not be a free-for-all. It's likely that we'll be met by beings whom will aid us in the transition from physical existence in a parasitic system to light-body existence in a realm of pure bliss. The Roman Apuleius echoes this, saying that the process is akin to a voluntary death, followed by a slow recovery. The ancient Scythians, a branch of the Vedic peoples, told of a place similar to Shambhala that lay far to the north. They said if one traveled far enough, one came to lands of mythical and fantastic tribes, and beyond them, to the Rhipaean Mountains. The Rhipaean Mountains are mountains mentioned by various Greek authors of classical antiquity, but whose location remains unknown. Pomponius Mela placed them within the Arctic Circle. It's said that past these mountains lay a beautiful country, warm and sheltered from the icy winds outside, where the sun rose and set only once a year, as it does within the Arctic Circle. Greek mythology speaks of Hyperborea, land of the ageless and sickless, a secret paradise where the heavens turned on the polar axis. Pindar writes of this paradise, "Never the muse is absent from their ways. Lyres clash and flutes cry, and everywhere maiden choruses whirling. Neither disease nor bitter old age is mixed in their sacred blood. Far from labor and battle they live. Me and my blood brethren have gathered under blood over intent for this journey to the center. Blood over intent is where you buy back your sovereignty and divinity by proclaiming to the universe your divine intentions, on top of which we are spilling our life force, our blood, which contains the necessary spiritual elements to free ourselves from bondage." Check out my recent video on blood over intent if you need some guidance or clarification. Once again, thank you for watching. I love you all.